So today we are going to be having a conversation about young and unrelational. Young and unrelational, and just basically talking about how today, as young people, social media has given us the illusion that we are connected. You know, we have thousands and thousands of followers and connections all over social media. You feel you know people from all around the world, but is that really true? Are we really connected? And yeah, relationships leo, sinking ship, yani tunavaa dust coat left, right and center. Nobody is safe, yani. So yes, we have these beautiful people who are going to be helping us in this conversation, but before we begin, I'd like them to introduce themselves, and we are going to start from my very far right. Mr. Man, tuanze na wewe. Tell us your name. Tusalimia my fans.
You see, have you ever seen someone and you think they have a given voice until they speak?
Unaongelelea nani?
Najiongelea mimi mwenyewe. Unangojea ongea na given voice alafu unasikia unasema, you speak like that. My name is Musa Kamusa or Machango, Musangi Machango. What should I say? Many things. I'm a farmer by profession, by training.
Okay.
Kazi yangu ni kulima.
Nilikuwa niulize swali lakini yes.
It sounds wrong you asking, but mimi kazi yangu ni kulima. Whatever you need, if you just get my number, I think iko kwa poster. Iko. Lakini tunaweka hapo down.
Yes. Subscribe.
Kwa kulima. So I also do I do programs. I do program management for Africa Youth Leadership Forum. I am a vision bearer for the Watch. I also do a newsletter and a podcast called the Radom Pod.
Ish.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm not a father.
What?
So recently I've seen people on their LinkedIn and their Twitter posts, they're like a father, a brother, an uncle,
a husband.
I'm neither of those. I'm an uncle. Yeah. And you too can make me a father like Adzazi.
Hey. Okay, sawa. Makofi to Muka. Thank you so much for being here. And to you, Wendy.
Hi guys.
Hello.
My name is Wendy Gatwiri. Na umeboeka sana, so
okay.
Hey, 1 2. All right, umeboeka sana. So I want us to do a small exercise and then I introduce myself.
Okay.
Sawa? I say we, you say wa. Sawa? I say we, wa, like that. Sawa?
Okay.
Pay attention. Watu wangu pale. Gabriel, together? Wewe. Okay.
We. Oh.
Cha bye. Utaketi. We.
Wa.
We. We.
Wa.
Wa.
We.
Wa.
We.
We.
Wa.
We. Wa.
Wawi.
All right. My name is Wendy Gatweri. I do a lot. I am in. Do you say I am a HR or I am in HR? That I train. I am a facilitator of soft skills, so I train, and also the cards we are using, I do that. So I make cards, conversational cards. Yeah, I am not a mother.
Good to know. Next.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
I realize that these guys I'm seated with feel the need to identify as fathers or mothers or otherwise. I am not. However, I am Samuel Baraka. I have just completed my law degree, so in a few months you should all be calling me a lawyer. What do I do outside that? I'm not in HR. I'm Samuel Baraka.
Are you a father? Umesema
No,
hiyo?
no, I'm not a
You're not
father.
a father. Okay. Sawa. And my name is Chebaibai. I am a podcaster. I work as a digital creator. And yes, I love being in such spaces where I see people connecting and just sharing their authentic selves and their authentic stories. And I think we are just going to have a lot more of that. So yes, we've been having these cards that have been helping us with the conversation. So I want kila mtu ushuffle, uchukue moja, mimi nishachukua yangu. Don't look at the question. I just want you to shuffle the card and then pick one and then you'll just flip it. Yeke tu hapa before we begin. Perfect. Yes, so this is just going to help us start off today's conversation. Like I said, we're going to be talking, the topic of discussion is young and unrelational. On this very first... You're making this too serious than it should be. My goodness. Okay, sawa. Yes, Neb, thank you. Yeah, so we are going to start with Wendy. I want you to flip your card, read out the question, and then let's kick it off.
Hey, if your younger self could sit beside you right now, what would they say? If my younger self could sit beside me right now,
Yeah.
what would they say?
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick a certain age. I'll go with 16.
Mm.
If my 16-year-old self could sit beside me right now, first of all, it's crazy because a classmate of mine when I was 16 is here.
Oh, really? Ako wapi? Oh, hi, classmates. Yeah, that's nice. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I think she would be very proud one. She'd be shocked because we took a complete 360 turn somewhere. And yeah, she'd be proud. And also one, she'd be very, I wish I could go back and tell her, acne Taisha. I was really bothered by acne all my teenage years.
Yeah.
So I didn't, you know how when you get acne, you cannot imagine not having it. Like you have it for so long, you can't, only Snapchat filters can tell you how you look without acne.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. So I could go back and tell her, but you know what? It gets better. It will be fine. But majorly matters accomplishment and a sense of drive. I think at 16 nilikuwa tu naamka na naishi tu and then the day ends and all. So right now I'm a better place. She'd be very proud
Yeah.
and happy to see we are doing well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice. Muka, your younger self.
So my younger self sees me now, will be like, "What? Is that you?" Sijaomoka, but well, I'll give it two scenarios. One is I was how many years old? Let's say 8 to 12 years old, and those years when we were being born.
Those years. Key word of those years.
Yes, those years when we were being born, we like in my village, I think we were only 3 boys who were born. The rest were girls. And normally boys are used to get sent a lot, sent to go somewhere, to take something somewhere and all that thing. So when the other 2 boys were sent somewhere by their parents, and then I was not sent because where would I have been sent? We were poor. So being poor, you have another. What are you sending? What? Unless maybe go and tell your uncle, our goat has refused to. We did not even have goats, so we couldn't send anyone. So we used to get sent by neighbors. You know, the neighbors used to send us and do because we had nothing to do after all. So they came to me and told me to take them somewhere very far. They were to go to ECG. They were going to pick a bag of maize or something. It was just dry season, and where I come from, when it's dry, it's dry. I mean, it's hot.
Okay.
So I told them, man, I can't go with you guys. So I used to be barefooted.
Bare feet, miguu tupu. Ni sawa.
Umeelewa? Like sikuwa na viatu, yani all the time sikuwa na viatu. So nikamwambia hii jua ni kali sana. I cannot join you guys. You better go because you mko na viatu and you are doing good. So one of the boys ran home, got one pair of his shoes, and gave me. Guys, that was my first pair of shoes.
Where?
That I wore, and I'm telling you, it was so sad. Less than a year, my foot had grown big. And now the shoe could not. Yeah, nilizieka mahali nisionange. Like, this is a very precious gold. Like, it's yes to me. But right now I have shoes. You know, I have shoes. I won't borrow any. I have enough pairs. I mean, you'll be like, what? Easy zote. So my younger self will be like, what? Viatu, zote, easy. Then the second scenario will be, mnakumbuka, I don't know if your primary school and this stupid culture ya kuweka watu badges like best in English, best in mathematics. And then that stupid culture. So our primary school and that stupid culture. So during closing day, you won't be given any present, but you'll be given those badges. And they felt like power, privilege, everything good. It felt like those. Now, I used to be one of the most stupid kids in the school. Mimi siwa nashika kitu. Okay, nilikuwa nashika vitu lakini si za kusoma. Like kama kupiga watu, kwenda kuiba vitu, yani vitu kama hizo mbaya mbaya yani nilikuwa nashika. But when it came to educational materials, they just left the compound, all of them. So I remember one time I was the very last person in class. I think I was in class 4 or something. Or class 5 term 1, term 2 there. And one of the boys who got the badges, alikuwa na best in social studies, best in mathematics, best in Kiswahili, best in what, most improved, most performing, you know, those nonsense. Akakuja akaniambia, yeah, I mean, where are you using them now? Utazitumia wapi? Akakuja akaniambia, I don't know what I made a bad remark, like, hizi ni vitu za kuisha, something like that. Like, they were not important. Vitu za dunia. I think he got mad akaniambia how stupid I was. Like, he took me through a kamsomo of how stupid I was. Well, my younger self will be astonished because, well, I'm not that stupid. I came to discover that actually I can pass examinations without putting a lot of effort.
Wow.
Yeah, and here I am. Trust me. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Fuka. Baraka, what question do you have?
Allow me first to rebut.
To answer the question.
You've answered. Nitulia nikupange. Be kind. Tulia nikupange. Tulia. Baraka, tell me what you have.
I'll start by rebutting. I don't believe that those things are stupid. Having a badge that says best in English, especially I'm saying that because I used to wear those badges.
Oh, okay. Tunaelewa sasa.
It doesn't make sense to say that you will not recognize someone for excelling. If you want to be recognized for not excelling, that's a separate case to make. However, my question is, what's the loneliest moment you've ever experienced? And this is a hard question.
No. What is the loneliest moment?
What do you mean the loneliest moment I've ever experienced? I think in one way or another, we're all lonely every day.
Tell us more. What's
the loneliest moment?
The loneliest. Yani ile
my God, nimeambiwa nijiongelele. So
please, jiongelele.
I'm the only lonely person here. But seriously, what's the loneliest moment I've ever experienced?
Mimi, acha nikwambie. The loneliest moment I ever experienced was I was just fresh from a very, very bad breakup. A very bad one. Na nilikuwa nimezoea weekendi bye bye. Niko town. I go to this person's house. I spend the weekend. So the first weekend I spent alone in my house. Nikaanza kujiambia lakini nyumba ni kubwa. I'm just there. I'm just like, oh my days. And then and especially because this was a very long-term relationship and we had a routine. So niko hapo sato, I want to put some music. This person has made me love the music they love. So now I can't even listen to anything else. Everything reminds me of this person. And I remember I was just like, yeah, this is sijazoea. But right now I enjoy my rent very much. I love every corner of my beautiful house. So when I think about the loneliest moments, that was it for me because I had not been alone like that for a very long time. And I had to learn how to be my own friend, enjoy my own company, enjoy spending time with me. So yeah, aya nimekupatia Mwakenya.
Mine is definitely not a breakup.
Okay.
However, I think mine, I don't think I can point out a specific loneliest moment. I'm lonely every time I feel I don't have something I'm doing. For instance, immediately after Form 4, there's this time when you've just finished your exams, you think life will be sweet after. And then 1 week into your completion, you realize, oh my God, there's nothing to do in this house except wash dishes. So that's the first. I think then later on, you realize when you finally get into campus, like at least this is on my part, every long holiday at the beginning, if I've not figured out where I'm going, you see, there's times when you're busy. In school, you're busy. If you have nothing else to do, you have an assignment somewhere. You have something to read for. But when there's nothing you're doing, there's no work, there's no school, there's friends, but friends really don't hit where that spot. I think, yes, that's the loneliest I ever am, when I have nothing to do. I think this is where we talk about finding your purpose. I think maybe. But yes.
Wendy, have you ever been in such a situation?
For someone who's a social butterfly, I don't allow myself. I don't have the privilege, because sometimes when you're constantly busy and you're never alone with your thoughts, you're always escaping, either with a hangout,
With people.
a show you're watching, you're binge watching shows.
Yeah.
You never have time to be lonely or alone or just bored. I was telling my friend Brenda, I am booking my next 3 weekends to be bored. I don't want to have anything to do. I just want to, because I can't. Even when we're talking about it, I'm searching. I don't have a moment.
An instance.
Yeah, I'm always outside. Yeah,
Always outside.
always outside.
Okay, so for purposes of time, Muka, you can read us your question as well.
Yeah, so my question is, what's a scar you carry that nobody can see? Well, I read the question after Baraka started speaking, and I was like, wait a minute. I don't get scars. I'm a very happy person normally. I move on quickly. So if things happen, I move on quickly. I don't stay together with the trouble myself. Why would you do that? Imagine we are living only once quickly. Our lives are not too long. 60, 70. But there is this one moment. I don't know if I'm ready to share, but I'll share whatever I can share.
Sure,
okay?
go ahead.
So I'm 17 years old. I'm doing KCSE that year. I'm sitting for my KCSE examination that year. I'm a happy person. Normally, if you have ever met me, whenever you have ever met me, you found me happy. Either making jokes, having fun, or even if I'm alone in my own house, I'm always happy. I'm either singing, talking to myself, or listening to something funny, or something sad, but funny. That dark joke kind of situation. So the principal calls us. I think it's around that time. The principal calls us and tells us, you guys go home. You need to go and get blessings. I don't know why he thought that we really needed blessings, but he told us, go home, you need to get blessings. So I told you guys I grew up with my grandmother in the village.
You didn't tell us.
Alone. I didn't. Oh, I did not tell you.
No.
Guys, I grew up with my grandmother in the village. Yeah. So I'm kind of those children who are drawn to grandmothers. I hope you don't feel rejected. We are many. So yeah, your parents give birth, then they throw you to your grandparents. So we leave school and I go home, and I find the situation was not right. Because someone I looked up to, someone that was like quite a quote-unquote hope, those people who are hope for you, was tragically ill. They were sick, really sick. And so instead of getting a blessing, so it was like sad moment, like, when did you get sick? I did not get a word. What can we do? What do we do? Well, after that day, I went back to school. I expected to pass. I passed, and I went back home in December, or in November, and then obviously I needed now to think about the situation as a grown-up. Now I don't know if you have been in a position where you don't know what to do. Now I think those are the most lonely moment for me, because I've been taught to do things for myself. It's hard for me to ask for help. It's hard for me to not know. I must be knowing. I must know what I should do. So I get there, I'm there, I have nothing to do. Like Baraka said, I have nothing to do. And people like me who talk a lot, we have to be doing something. We have to be doing something because we cannot stay without doing something. So the person keeps deteriorating. It is December, there's no Christmas, there's no Merry to make. Because now, uko na mgonjwa hapo, you have to tender them, and you don't know how. You don't understand how. So fast forward, in January, I get a small job at a primary school around my place. And that is the point I get some assistance to do. Because now I'm looking at my uncles to help me. I'm looking at people in the village. I don't know how to say I need help, but I'm hoping that they can say, yes, son, you need help. Let me give help. Now, the most loneliest point is when one evening I decided that I would take this person to the hospital. I had never gone to an hospital, guys. So I look for a car. Watu niwaambie watu wanaweza nyima watu gari. Na mkipata gari msinyime watu gari tafadhali. Especially akiwa kwa shida. Unajua mpelekea mnaweza wanyima lift. Like if somebody has a problem, if you have a car, please lift them up. Give them a chance. Sasa it might save them a lot of burden. I called everyone in the village I knew as a car, but all their cars were busy that evening. They had somewhere to go, somewhere which was most urgent. But I took this person. Nevertheless, somebody came and helped me. We went to the hospital. But now this is where the problem is. The hospital is too far away from home. So to Benfica Hospital, the person gets admitted. But now I cannot go home because even tomorrow morning, I need to come and check this person, clean them, and change them, make sure that I'm talking to the doctors. So who has ever slept in a hospital corridor? Either on a bench, on the floor, or something. Now, for the next 1.5 months, I slept in the hospital corridor, not knowing where the next shillings will come. Unasikia, oh, you need blood. You don't know, a pint of blood is, I think, 8,000. You don't know where to get. You are below age. Hata sikuwa nimefikisha kilo 50. Yes, to damu. And you are already mad that you are not able. You're mad that nobody is seeing your problem. And you don't know what to do, but you have to do something. I think that was the most loneliest person. It's a scar and a lonely moment. It's a scam. I think that happened. And the bad thing happens that life is funny. They never got healed and they died.
Okay, and as I'm listening,
hiyo mwisho iko sad. Yeah, mwisho nimesema iko a joke, lakini you guys are not getting jokes.
Jamani. So let's now just bring back the conversation to being young and being unrelational. I think we are a generation that spends a lot of time online, on social media. Mimi kwanza saa zingine unapiga picha and you spend 30 minutes. Yani nimepost picha 30 minutes. Niko hapo nashangaa, just 2 likes. I'm like, let me tell you guys, I remember there's a time I posted something on my TikTok and nimerudi naangalia naona views sijui ni 10. I pulled it down. I was just like, oh my God, what in the hell is this? Because the previous video had gotten sijui like how many thousands of views, and this one in just an hour had gotten so kidogo views. I was just like, no. And it's that thing of how we are always looking for validation as young people, such that we value validation more than actual connection. And I want to know, when was the last time you felt like you were connected to a community, like you didn't have to prove yourself to get accepted? Because I know a lot of times the validation also stems from a place of you want to be accepted, you want people to like you, you want to fit in, you want to be part of the vibe, part of the tribe. When was the last time, Baraka, you felt like you were your authentic self? Just even outside what we put out there with you, either your community, with your family, with your friends. And how did that feel for you?
the last time I felt like I was my authentic self. It's very interesting. For me, I think the place where I'm able to be my authentic self is at home. Anytime,
home.
yes. And I know it's a privilege. Not so many people can feel as comfortable as they should
Yeah.
in their home spaces. But I am lucky that I have a very loving family, and I am able to feel at home. At home,
At home.
yes. Other than at home, though, I also like my space. I like being alone, so
Yeah.
I prefer. I've come to a point where I believe it's important, before you find other spaces outside that can make you be your authentic self, be good with yourself inside. Like, I know for a fact, whether or not there was anyone else, I would be happy in my own skin. And I think that helps. It prepares you to now interact with others and even be a good person, so they can be their authentic selves around you, and you can be your authentic self around them. I think that would be my answer.
I like that. And do you think it's possible, the same way you're authentic and you are comfortable in your own skin, like you've said, do you think it's possible to share that truth also to our online audiences, our online friends? Because squeezy, of course, nobody is posting how they're going through. Okay, there kuna wale wana post that they're going through either depression or whatever. But how do we share our truths as young people online without any fear of rejection, any fear that, hapa ni kama nitachoma sana, people are not gonna see the kind of image, the kind of ideal image I have put in my mind? When did you think it's possible to share our truths online, or rather in this digital age, and still represent our true, authentic selves? Yes.
All right. There's a post I saw to build the muscle of posting, because I don't know how to post. Sometimes I have so many beautiful pictures in my gallery, but I don't know how to post. I don't know the correct caption. And we live in such a woke and sensitive era. You might offend someone.
Yes.
You post this, there's a group that does not agree with that. If you post something a bit political, you're scared. Subaru,
Oh, and I relate really.
So I end up never posting, and then people do their June dump, and you can see, oh my god, and you find photographs are like evidence of a time had.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So if you don't take photographs, 5 years from now that moment didn't happen.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So building a muscle ya kupost na not caring, not checking who has viewed.
Yeah.
There's a post that said you create a separate account for yourself and you post daily. Any small thing. You see a beautiful cloud, you post that. And you don't expect views, by the way, because you're the only one.
Yeah.
You follow your other account, the one that has,
I like that.
So you follow that one. She follows you back, and then now you only have one follower and following one, and now you post everything. I post very silly things, an inside joke I have in my head, I type it there on that account, and I like. I go to that one, I comment, like wow, ha ha ha, stuff like that. So that is working because I'm building a muscle. Now I cannot go a day without posting on my that other account, and now I find that it's. I select the ones that look pretty there.
Yeah.
I'm like, this one is good. So I forward it to the other account. I repost to that one. Yeah, so that has helped me. And then also, I think, I don't know if, maybe to the audience, I don't know if this is, you guys, I don't know if this is being two-faced. I am part of AYLF.
Yes.
So I find there's who they think I am. At work, there's who they think I am. At church, there's who they think I am. So when it comes to posting, I must think of all these groups and who they think I am. And which group I'm muting.
Yeah. Other close friends.
Yeah. So it's a whole shebang.
Yeah.
I see why that's an important question. Yeah. I have not mastered the art of being whatever happens, whatever you think, that's on you. I want to get there where I don't care. Kama if this offends you, sorry, kama this, I'm not there yet. I'm trying to find my way, but I've started with building the muscle of posting and not being afraid of, let it just stay. So I don't have a particular answer for that one, but maybe create an account and follow yourselves. Yeah.
Unajua umesema hivyo umenikumbusha. You see this? Okay, I don't want to mention their names, but mnaonanga celebrities when you utengeneza accounts for their children. Alafu unapata hapo kwa comment section, the mom and the dad are commenting on the kid's photo. Let's say the kid anaitwa Chebaibai. Wako hapo chini I'm just like, this looks like a lot of work. It looks like a lot of work, but I really love that idea. I love that idea. And it has also brought me to your close friends. Yeah. Mimi for sure. Let me tell you, the person I am at work and the person I am hapa saizi, hey, ninaweza kuwa hata sherehe wapi, close friends, pale ile nini ya green. And I always love when I open Instagram, na naona kuna mtu ako na nini ya, that's the first story I'm viewing. Alafu unapata umeniekea, picha za makucha, sijui picha za viatu. Surely, let's respect close friends.
Yes, please.
Yes. Now, connections, because again, just being young people and just always wanting that connection online. Nani hapa ashai ghost mtu? Nani ashai ghost? Wacha niinue mikono nianze. Employers. Okay, ni sawa, but like chatting online, unaongea na mtu, unaona, this is not what I expected, ukaamua ghost. Just raise your hand. Kamera hata itakufikia, hautaonekana. Nani ashai blockiana? Kublock. Now think about it. Like we were talking about it even before we started, how relationships right now, let's even leave romantic relationships out of this. There's that aspect of conflicts and conflict resolution. And how siku hizi, just a little inconvenience, you want to block someone. Mtu wako hapo kwa comment section, mumegombana, lakini tukipatana hivi, macho kwa macho. Unajua keyboard warriors, kina sisi hapa. We can't even afford to, yani ile kugombana tulikuwa tunagombana kwa comment. We can't have that conversation personally. Now, when you think about relationships right now, and you know how we treat each other, how we connect with one another, do you think these apps, digitally, whatever it is, however it is you decide to share your truths to the world, are we lonelier? Are they drawing us even more apart from each other? Because yes, in a paint your picture that yes, tuko pamoja. But Muka, what do you think? Do you think they are working to separate us even more? Do you think right now, as young people, tukikuja hivi pamoja, are we really relating to each other the way we are supposed to?
Yeah, okay. That's a difficult question to me because I'm a social animal. I relate with people very easily, connect with people very easily, and I think both works. It depends with the number one, if you have too much expectations about whatever people need to see about you. So you put a pressure on yourself. You want to create a given image. You know, this flourishing, powerful, hardworking, successful person on social media. Okay, tunajua. So lakini when we meet you, we know who you are. So we are trying to connect those two things, and as you work. So whatever I thought, I used to have a very beautiful account on Facebook that I deleted 3 years ago, and the reason I deactivated and deleted that account is I wanted to start over. Then I came to start over. I discovered, huyu si mimi.
Yeah.
Huyu mtu naeka hapa si mimi. You see, personally, I like being free, engaging with people freely, and them to meet me, not the title, not the big thing you're doing, not the things you want to do. They need to experience you. The person. Let them judge the kind of a person you are. Let them judge the kind of things you're going through. But if you're authentic enough, they meet you. It becomes easy for them to relate with the things you're doing. It's become very easy for you to connect with the things that you know or things that you have met around in life. So I think the most important thing is, how authentic are you? Because even social media and real life, you're not doing life for somebody else. It's not because of the next person you're doing life. You're doing life for you.
Yeah.
So for number one, if you're not happy for you now, then it is going to be difficult.
Absolutely.
We give you 1,000 likes or not, it is going to be difficult for you. But if you're you're authentic to yourself. You love the person you are in the spaces you are. You love the representation you have, because kama venye amesema utaudhi watu. For example, personally, I do, those who have my contact, they see. If I get an idea, I don't care if it has grammatical error or not. I type it even if I'm speaking to someone. And I'll be like, you guys, stop telling me I have a grammatical error. Read and understand. Reply or move on. Like if you read and you move on, I'll type another one in a few seconds. Because I'm very authentic. Though it happened, kitu mbaya it happened. So sorry to cut the story. But I was in an interview, a job interview, and it was not an application. Somebody referred me and I went in the interview. Then somebody who sees my statuses, akaleta hiyo kitu ya grammar. Akasema, how will you be writing a document with all these grammatical errors?
Kama kwa status unatu
hiyo kitu ilikasirisha, sijai heal. Hata nikikutana na yeye na mwangalia, my friend, do you know I write well? You know I'm good at writing. But well, nevertheless, that is an matter. Authenticity, I think, is the basic need.
Yeah.
It's whatever we need, because even if you're going tough times, we need to understand that representation. I was telling a friend of mine, we don't talk so much because we are not in the same space. My type of work is on this side, they are on the other side. But I see their statuses, and every time I see their statuses, I feel like I've talked to them. Like I'm updated, I know whatever is happening in their lives. So even when we meet, I can try, you're doing this, and you can relate.
Yeah.
Even if we did not have a conversation on WhatsApp or Instagram or anywhere. But then we want to put limitation. You have those friends, if you don't talk to them one day, inakuwa kesi. I mean, maybe delete my number.
But what I'm also hearing, when you talk about authenticity, also kuna hiyo aspect ya vulnerability. Like, are we willing to be vulnerable with each other? Are we willing to have people see those sides of ourselves that are not as pretty? You know, mimi manze, saizi with my face bit, if you saw me in the morning, straight from bed, to vitu trails of whatever up my face. I mean, are we vulnerable enough? Have we created spaces or communities that allow us to interact with each other and just put down whatever masks we have on, even as we wrap up the conversation? Wendy, do you have communities or spaces where you feel safe enough to be Wendy? Take off the mask and just be you.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to talk about conflict and conflict resolution. You mentioned it.
Yeah, yes.
And in my head, I was like, I like that one. I like that topic.
Please go ahead.
I mentioned I facilitate training. So one of the trainings we do is conflict resolution at work. And you find most people avoid conflict.
Yeah.
But it's inevitable.
It is.
We are different people. We have different beliefs. We come from different backgrounds. So it's inevitable. You're who you are. I am who I am. So it's okay to clash.
Yeah.
I used to be that person who's afraid of confrontation. If I come and tell you made me feel bad, the friendship or the relationship is over. So instead, I'd sit with that discomfort and maybe be passive aggressive.
Yeah.
So I'm just tiptoeing, silent treatment, stuff like that. But maturity is realizing you can resolve conflict, you can have conflict and still continue being friends.
Yeah.
So nowadays I approach conflicts from a point of ulinibo, but I'm telling you, minibo, knowing we are friends, we will continue being friends.
I
so
like that.
maybe I just wanted to say that
Thank
conflict
you.
does not mean a relationship is over.
Yeah.
Repeat the question.
Do you have spaces where you have allowed yourself to be safe and vulnerable enough to be Wendy? Truly Wendy.
Vulnerability, I have learned vulnerability has to be cultivated.
Yeah.
We don't just meet and I'm vulnerable. It has to be over time.
Absolutely.
I feel like I trust you. We relate, and also I think vulnerability is like a secret. You give, I give. Yeah. It's very hard for me to be vulnerable with someone who is not, who will never be. You get? So for example, if I sit with Muka and he tells me he has struggled with this and it triggers something I've also struggled with, so we share. Now I feel like we connect. And I think the point of relationship, even from the word relationship, is relatable.
Yeah.
We are relatable. So if I can relate, if your trauma is calling to my, and we can. So I think vulnerability for me has been in spaces where people have been vulnerable with me.
Yeah.
So I feel comfortable enough
To be vulnerable with them. Yeah. Okay. Baraka, do you have spaces where, have you created spaces or communities where you feel truly yourself?
Before I answer that,
Yes.
allow me to also digress like Wendy. I think to a certain extent, this business of putting ourselves first is, I think it's a lie-ish. And I'll tell you why. Every time we hear put yourself first, it's never the end game of putting yourself first in most cases is ukiona mtu hamuelewani, the first instance mmeachana, you've cut them off.
The cut-off culture, yeah.
Exactly. And there's so much of that going on. I don't really think it helps.
Yeah.
Because as human beings, we are inherently wrongdoers. So I will wrong you, you will wrong me. If we were to cut off everyone who wronged us, what world would we live in?
That's true. Yeah.
Again, so as Wendy said, it's important, I think, to cultivate a culture of communicating once you've been wronged and finding ways to resolve it, not just communicating. So someone comments something bad on your photo that you thought looked very nice, don't block them. It doesn't.
But mbona mbona kusema very nice, beautiful, hey beautiful.
If they think you're not,
Oh yeah.
they have the right to think.
Kwa post yangu,
Don't
kwa simu
express it
yangu.
kwa nini yangu.
Yeah.
But yes, so
But
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
there should be limits. It's good, put yourself first. However, putting yourself first does not mean we do not live on islands. We are social creatures. Na ni milima tu haikutanangi. Uta cut off mtu leo na kesho ni ana kutafutia kazi.
Kabisa.
I don't think that's how it should go. Are there spaces I've allowed myself to feel vulnerable in?
Yeah.
Few, honestly, but I think it's important in life to have at least that one person or to a maximum of 3.
Yeah.
I'm not like these other butterflies. Yeah, so I think mine is a maximum of 3 people, and they change with time. Again, I also don't give them everything at once. So there's someone I know I can be open about matters, say career, with, and that's it. Theirs is career, and their box is career, period. There's this other one I'll tell, okay, now what other thing could I possibly share? Let me think. Oh yes,
Kuna kakwela fulani.
there's another one who now I can tell, there's this nice girl I've been seeing, and I think this and this and this might go this way. There's that person for
Yeah.
that. That one has no idea I have a career life, and it's nice. So that one has their box. This one has their box. This other one I might tell maybe, my money is looking good, or it's not looking okay. It's not looking good enough for what I want. I'm still opening up, but I think it's important to separate those people. So each of them has a different thing they know. And they'll
Okay.
never tell each other. That's a good thing.
I think it's fine, and I like that because I feel like it gets to a certain point where you want different communities for different facets of your life, like people who would you'd want to speak more to about your relationships, about your career, about your family, and it's okay so long as you're feeling safe. And I also like what you said, that you have those 1 or 2 people that you feel connected with and just safe enough to be vulnerable with. It reminded me of a podcast I listened to, I think Trevor Noah's. He was talking about how you don't need to have 1 million followers, you don't need to have tens of thousands of followers. You need to have just 1 or 2 people who really see you and who really know you and accept you for who you are. So I think that is just what I am taking away from this conversation. As young people, of course, the digital space has allowed us to feel connected to very many people. But let us challenge ourselves to look for those communities, to look for those people, to look for those connections that allow us to be truly seen and be truly known, however way that looks for you. So yeah, Aki, conversation kuna mtu ananinulia karatasi kwa ile kona na anasema no, tumalize. So 30 seconds, Muka, your final thoughts as we wind up. 30 seconds.
Difficult to do so, but I'll try. That second. So on whatever there is, I know myself. One, there are people, there's sharing and there's giving baggage. Don't carry people's baggage. You're not a weight lift or something. It must be quite honest and authentic. Some people who are making connections becoming difficult because they're just weighing out their baggage, and rather than making sure that we are sharing to relieve. The other thing is, personally, I'm a very outright person. I will not take corners, but I also understand personalities. I will be outright to this person, but I will take a long path for this other person. Understand the people you're engaging with in the spaces you're engaging with. Every time. It is a skill that you need to work on, and you have to keep working on it. It doesn't stop. The other thing is, the last thing is 30 minutes, the 10 seconds.
30 seconds.
So the last thing is, community is very important. We cannot be beings in isolation. So gift people time. Let them do mistakes, because that's whatever makes life beautiful. If we don't want these relationships to sink, we have to give them a chance. If somebody mmekosana mtu, wacha akae tu hapo watching his status. Maybe somewhere you get back to your relationship, build it up, and become people relevant. And then when you're giving out your information, don't give it out because you just need to dish it out.
Yeah.
Give it out because it is necessary. It is adding value to the people you are connecting with, and that will make your life stay afloat.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Wendy, your final thoughts?
You're someone worth knowing. So do not copy, do not imitate, do not, don't be someone you're not, because I think the social media robs us of who we really are. Our thoughts are borrowed. Our beliefs are borrowed. Yeah, do not deny people the privilege of knowing you, who you really are. If you like dark jokes, stay with your dark jokes. People who like dark jokes will find you. Sawa? Yeah, do not have dark jokes because people don't like them.
Yeah.
No, just you will find your niche with time. So do not be yourself in fear that people might not. I have a friend who randomly sings anything that comes to mind. She's here. Ataka hivi aimbe wimbo ya soap. Next, it's a Kikuyu song. Yeah, and we like it. We listen to her songs.
Like that.
Yeah. Say hi.
Say hi. I like how you're putting them on the spot. I love it. Baraka, your final thoughts? 30 seconds.
No one really cares.
Ooh. Okay.
Yes, you might. I was having a conversation earlier with some nice people over here. We were talking about how we often hold back thinking that people will judge us for whatever it is we are or we are doing. But in reality, no one really cares. They probably don't even notice the things you're worried about. So if you think you want to do something, by all means do it. They don't care. And if they do, that's their problem. We only have one life to live. We must live it well. Thank you.
Asante. And for me, I think it would just be to tell you guys that in order to make true connections, we need to ditch performance. Like, stop performing for people. Just live with intention and less performance. And the choices that you make, whatever you do, speak honestly, breathe fully, and walk through life knowing that even in your imperfections, however they look like, you are enough. And as Wendy said, you deserve to be known, you deserve to be seen. So look for those people who make you feel seen, and be a person who sees other people as well. Thank you so much. This has been beautiful. Of course, let's keep these conversations going. I want to invite my MC mwenye karibu anitoe kwa hii kiti. But let's give a round of applause to Muka, to Wendy, and to Baraka for today's conversation. Asanteni sana, guys. Thank you so very much.